This is the staff rescuing the injured lioness. A heart-stopping scene. It can be seen that the lioness has a deep wound on her neck. The doctor is cleaning its wounds. If it were any later, she might not have survived. Then, an antibiotic injection is given to prevent infection. When the lioness wakes up, it can be seen that almost half of her head's skin has come off. What caused all of this? The lioness is named Yabu. She was born in Uganda. Elisha is from the southern part of the national park. A family lives here carefree. There are 4 adult lionesses and 9 cubs in the pride. There are also 2 strong male lions protecting them. During the afternoon nap, the family relaxes under the tree enjoying the cool breeze. It is quite pleasant. But with the development of time, humanity is continuously expanding into the forests. Bit by bit, encroaching on the habitats of wildlife. The conflict between both sides is intensifying every day. The villagers, in order to protect their livestock, set traps or use poison. Within a year, over 200 lions have died one after another. Yabu's husband and sister, and 3 juvenile cubs about to reach adulthood, also tragically left them after accidentally eating poisoned meat. In the end, only Yabu and his few-month-old child remained, along with his sister Gina, and her 4 slightly older cubs. The responsibility of providing for the family has left the 2 sisters physically and mentally exhausted. Moreover, the cubs are all in a growth phase, requiring increasingly more nutrition. Yabu is either hunting every day, or on the way to hunt. Gina also goes out with her sister, striving to nurture their cubs. As night fell, the 2 sisters searched for prey everywhere, to be safe. They focused their attention on the safer warthog. After finding the warthog's den, Yabu and her sister quickly began digging inside. Finally, after digging for 2 hours, the little warthog, with no place to hide, was still served on the table. In a short while, the cubs came at the sound. They began to enjoy this hard-earned feast. However, Yabu did not join in. She was nervously searching for something. It turned out that Yabu found one of her cubs was missing. She called out, hoping to hear a desired response. But all she got was the lonely sound of the wind, and the endless darkness. When the next day dawned, the cameramen also paused filming due to urgent matters. They hurriedly left the place. 2 months later, when he returned again, he heard some heartbreaking news. The reserve staff discovered a severely injured lioness. He immediately drove to the location. When he saw the injured lioness in the tree, he instantly recognized her as Yabu. Half of her head's skin was almost peeling off. One can only imagine how painful that was. This scene also brought tears welling up in the photographer's eyes. Yabu probably felt safer in the tree, but this left the staff at a loss. And the cause of Yabu's injury was also determined. It was caused by traps set by local herders. When the group returned to camp, looking at the suffering Yabu, they felt very distressed. If it were competition among peers, they might not intervene. But this time it involved human harm. At that time, the Ugandan government did not provide much assistance to wildlife. So this time, the crew decided to pay out of their own pockets to help Yabu. They drafted a plan overnight. When they found Yabu the next day, she was already very weak. So the doctor immediately prepared to anesthetize Yabu for rescue. But moving a 300-pound lion down is not an easy task. The group was ready to use ropes to lower her down. However, at that moment, an accident occurred. Fortunately, everything below had already been prepared, which prevented Yabu from being harmed a second time. Then everyone worked together to lift her down from the roof of the vehicle. The doctor immediately began cleaning Yabu's wounds, then administered an antibiotic shot to prevent infection. After doing all this, they gently placed Yabu under a bush and prepared a fat antelope for her. An hour later, Yabu slowly woke up. Upon seeing the antelope nearby, the long-hungry Yabu began to eat voraciously. This would help her quickly regain her strength. It would also aid in the healing of her wounds. She looked at the photographers in the distance, as if she knew they had saved her. When the crew found Gina again, they discovered she was unharmed and was hunting in the night. Meanwhile, the cubs were all skin and bones. Alone, Gina could hardly satisfy the appetites of the cubs. Fortunately, Gina had not abandoned her sister's children, and had kept them close by. The lost cub was also here. Gina, living up to expectations, caught an antelope, allowing them to survive another difficult period. 3 months later, when the crew saw Gina and the cubs again, they discovered that they had actually gained several rounds of fat. It turned out that Yabu had already returned. Moreover, her injuries had completely healed. The family was living together again. They thought this was the best ending for them. The photographers were also preparing to conclude this filming journey, to put a perfect ending to it. But in October 2018, the Elizabeth National Staff made a call. Yabu and her sister Gina, and all the cubs had encountered misfortune. These adorable little ones had not yet witnessed the beauty of the world, when they were ruthlessly deprived of their lives. Yabu may not have understood until her death that she had never harmed humans. But why did humans repeatedly harm her and her loved ones?